Playground!
Hooray!
This is the Darren Harris Podcast. Here's your host, Darren Harris.
And then I will start. I guess I could be sound checking while I'm talking to y'all. That's all good too. But you can also catch my podcast on every platform. I'm just gonna get ready here. I might do like one or two segments, maybe one segment. And if you want to catch it, it'll be on like either any podcasting platform, and you can also catch it on my YouTube as well. So let me get my notes together. All right. Check 1 2. Sounds like all the levels are good. Yo, folks, what's up? Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Darren Harris, and this is the Darren Harris Podcast. Thank you for joining me. Thank you very much for joining me. Hopefully everybody's mental health was good this week. Mine was pretty good. I had a good week. But you know who didn't have a good week? TikTok didn't have a good week. And that's because I think 2 days ago, yesterday, Joe Biden signed into law the TikTok ban. So they was trying to buy him at first. They were trying to get the CEO of TikTok, or the company, the parent company of TikTok, ByteDance, to sell TikTok to the United States. And it's kind of crazy because like there's a lot going on. Like there's 170 million people, right? 170 million people that earn a living on social media, on social media like TikTok and all the other social medias combined. And like a lot of them are exclusive to TikTok. They don't have any other account. They got started on TikTok. They maintain their TikTok, and this is how they earn their living. And now a lot of these people are kind of scrambling because they're trying to figure out what happens to them and their livelihood if the app goes away. So a lot of Americans are upset, needless to say. Now, the TikTok ban, I don't think it's going to be nearly as severe because there are ways to get around. There's loopholes everywhere. But a lot of Americans are upset about the TikTok ban, but what they don't understand is that there is no American social media in China. They don't have Facebook. They don't have Instagram. They don't have Twitter, Snapchat. They don't have none of that shit. They don't have none of that shit in China. They have like 4 social medias, and all that shit is ran by the Chinese state. That's what it is. It's ran by, and that's just the way it is. And the reason why that is because of their society and the way that their society works. They're communists, and we all know how communism works, but they want to control the speech. They want to control what their citizens see. They want to control the speech just in case, like our social media to them is willy-nilly as hell because, you know, here in America, we talk down about the government and so on and so forth. And over in China, we know if you talk down about the government, you could, you know, find yourself in some sort of, you know, re-education camp, if not worse. So it's difficult, you know, here, but it's almost like here in America, right? Here in America, the Chinese own about 384,000 acres of farmland, and they control the pork industry in the United States as well. And you know why that is, folks? That is because of capitalism. And that's what we are. We're a capitalist society. That's what it's supposed to be. We're supposed to sell to the highest bidder. That's what we do. But that's what we do. You can't buy land in China, okay? You can't buy, if you're not a Chinese national, you can't just buy land in China. You just can't. Now, you can kind of buy land. It's like an illusion of buying land. And what I mean by that is, if you're thinking about buying land, there's a few, you know, stipulations you have to, you know, loopholes you got to jump through hoops you got to jump through. And you don't really own the land. The Chinese state owns the land, owns all the land. The Chinese state owns the land. Now, they lease you the land, and the leases go up to like 70 years. So you have this illusion that you own land in China, but really, if the state needs your land, they can come snatch that shit right up from underneath you without, and not for nothing, you're not going to get back nearly as much. You could possibly get back a lot less than you actually paid for the land in the first place. Like I said, it's the illusion of owning the land in China. Now, the vast majority of Chinese people I know, though, now I do know quite a few people, they are charming. They're absolutely amazing people. I'm talking about people that are directly from China. I'm not talking about Chinese Americans. I'm talking about people that I know that are directly from China. Their first language is Chinese. These people are delightful people. They're smart. They're observant. They're efficient. They're friendly. They're family-oriented. They keep to themselves a lot. But we here seem to think that there's a lot of malicious intent. And make no mistake about it, there probably is. There's probably a lot of malicious, but you know what though? We could just be paranoid also. We could just be extremely paranoid. Over an app that pretty much does the same thing as the other apps out here. The only difference to this app is from China. And that's the only thing. And it's about data and collecting data and things of that. And yeah, absolutely, it's about collecting the data. But hasn't every other social media platform had their woes with data security? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, like a lot more. Now, the problem is this. The United States tried to get ByteDance to sell them TikTok because they were concerned about data breaches. That's what they were. They were just concerned. They were concerned about the breach of data. And the Chinese government having access to the American data, like the data of American users. But we have a company right here in our own country that has taken our data and sold our data to the highest bidder. Why? Capitalism. Simple as that, capitalism. And that's the way that it works. That's the way that the world works. And it's worked. Capitalism is so far deeply embedded in society around the world. Even the communists, like the Chinese, they've modified their version of communism to include Western characteristics. They practice communism with Western characteristics, which means they can make money. You can go out and sell and buy and sell things and make money, and they're extremely successful. They're extremely successful. They make a lot of stuff. They make a lot of stuff that a lot of people buy. And we are adamant against China and the things. Then if that's the case, then we need to shut Walmart down right now. Walmart needs to close right now because the majority of everything in Walmart is from China. It's just the facts. It's just the facts. Go inside, go in Walmart. The majority of the things that are manufactured or made or put together is in China. And that's just what it is. And we're angry at them, and that's that we brought that up on ourselves. We brought that to ourselves. But we continue to be mad at them. So we can't really be mad at them for doing the things that we do. And in my personal opinion, as far as the app itself is concerned, I believe, in my opinion, it's no more or less harmful than the other apps that are out there. Now, there's a lot going on as far as privacy and data is concerned. And there are, like I said in the beginning, there are quite a few social media platforms out there that people, subscribe to and make their living on. I'm on, me personally, I have a Facebook. Actually, I have 3 Facebooks. One got hacked. I have 3 Facebook accounts. I have 1 Instagram account. I have a Snapchat account that I don't use. I have a Twitter account that I hate. I have an Instagram Threads account that I just got. And I have, did I say Snapchat? I have, that I don't use. And I have a TikTok. So I officially Did I say YouTube too? I think I said YouTube also. But I have basically all of them. Now, do I have activity on all of them? Yeah, a little bit. I started with my Facebook. So my Facebook is, probably, well, I won't say it's the deepest. My Instagram is the deepest because I had a viral video. I had a video go viral, and it helped out a lot, needless to say. But my Facebook probably is my deepest. And then, well, no, I'm sorry. Well, my Facebook, probably I have more of my friends, more of actual people that I know. My Instagram will have more of, people that I follow, then people that also follow me back, some of my friends and family, but a lot of people who follow me from other things that I do. And my YouTube, I just post silly things of me and my family. So I do have some followers, but not a lot. I have like 91 followers on my YouTube. But you're more than welcome to go to my YouTube and follow me if you want to, but you don't have to. I'm not, this is not that. This is not me trying to get like followers from my social media. But I'm just letting you know that I possess a large, I like all of the platforms, the big major platforms of social, and none of them are without their woes. They are constantly having issues with data breaches and things of that nature. So I'm going to take a quick fast break, really, really fast. And when I come back, I'm going to go through all of the issue, the timeline of Facebook and the issues that they've had in the past. All right? So sit tight. I'll be right back. This is Darren Harris, and this is my podcast. I'll be right back. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Today, I'm talking about the TikTok ban and what it means and what's going to happen and what's popping with it. So before I went to break, I basically told everybody that I was about to go through some of the issues that we are having with the social media companies as far as our private data is concerned. And Facebook is, they're probably the most guilty of all of them. But they've been around for quite some time. Remember MySpace? I remember MySpace. I had a MySpace. I was trying to get my page pimped. I never really understood it. And then when I finally started understanding that shit, it went away. And then I got a Facebook. So on this Facebook, since Facebook, well, I won't say since Facebook. I just know since 2007. Since 2007, Facebook has been having issues with privacy and data breaches and just blatant just doing it to us because they're doing it to us. So I'm going to go through some of the things. Back in December 2007, Beacon advertising program allowed Facebook users tracking. So back in 2000, as far back as 2007, Facebook allowed people to track us without our permission. In 2009, Facebook makes previously private information public. So in 2009, they made a lot of private information public without our consent. May 2010, Facebook shares user data with advertisers via privacy loophole. Now, see, they're finding loopholes. They're finding loopholes to be able to sell our data, to be able to sell our personal data. In November 2011, Facebook settles with FTC on privacy charges. In 2013, January, Facebook's graph search rollout ignites privacy concerns. June 2013, bug exposes personal data of 6 million users. March 2018, Cambridge Analytica scandal affects 50 million users, 50 million plus users. May 2018, Facebook bug makes 14 million users private posts public. September 2018, attackers access data up to 90 million Facebook users. So, like I said, Facebook is they're not really trustworthy with our data anyway. They're very frivolous with our data anyway. You know what I mean? So let me continue. December 2018, the New York Times discovered Facebook sharing user data without permission yet again. In March 2019, up to 600 million Facebook passwords stored in plain text files. So they had everybody's password out there. Everybody's Facebook password just out there in the wind with his ass out and everything. Your password is out there with his ass hanging out in the world. Thanks, Facebook. You know what I'm saying? And that's a lot of stuff that could be private to me. But they're just out there willy-nilly and with it. Okay. April 2019, 540 million Facebook users records found on public server. April 2019, Facebook uploads 1.5 million users' email contacts without permission. So Facebook gave away your shit. You know what I'm saying? They're just without permission. They're doing it on purpose. July 2019, Federal Trade Commission imposes $5 billion penalty on new privacy restrictions on Facebook. The Federal Trade Commission up their ass. September 2019, data for 419 million Facebook users found on exposed server. June 2020, Facebook accidentally shares user data with developers. April 2021, personal data on 530 million plus Facebook user leaks online in an online forum. And April 2023, $725 million privacy settlement opens up to applications. And that is the timeline of all the things that Facebook has been involved in as far as our personal data is concerned. And they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit, as you can see. And by the way, if you want to check this out, I got this information from a website called the Firewall Times. It's in plain sight. You can Google search it yourself and read the articles I did. I don't want to go through the whole article, but yo, for real, like I said, Facebook, man, goddamn. They just out there selling our shit, get in trouble, sell our shit some more, get in trouble some more, sell our shit some more, keep getting in trouble and sell our shit and keep getting in trouble and don't give a fuck. And the reason why is because we keep falling for it. We keep letting them do it. We keep saying okay. We keep not reading the fine print, and that's what we're doing. We get a lot of our data gets lost in the fucking shovel because we don't want to read fine print. We just don't do that. We just don't do that. We want to get on Facebook because the rest of our friends are on Facebook. We want to play the game because the rest of our friends are playing. Because I play games, and I am guilty as fuck of not looking at the license agreements. I mean, a lot of us just be like, click, 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 and click straight on through some shit, that might say, some Rumpelstiltskin shit on your ass. You owe us your first child if you lose, 1,500 matches in a row, some shit, but we don't read fine print. We just don't do it. We're not a country of fine print readers. We're just not. We're just not. We get had on a regular basis because we don't read fine print. But these people are out there willy-nilly with our data. And we're hypocrites. We are hypocrites. We are hypocrites. We're so, our privacy this and privacy that. Oh, my privacy. We have to have privacy. No, the fuck we don't. Because if we had to have privacy, these companies would be shut the fuck down. They really would. They really would. These they would be shut down. This shit would be shut down. Instagram, Facebook, all of these companies would be shut down if we were really that concerned with our data being leaked. But we're not, because what we're looking for is the instant validation of everybody saying, hey, that's funny. Hey, that's really cool. Hey, that's nice. Hey, Facebook loves you. That's what we're looking for, and that's what we don't give a damn. And we give our data to Facebook. Straight up tells you we're going to sell your data to some third-party motherfuckers, which could be from anywhere, including China. Get what I'm saying? So it's a lot of hypocrisy, man. It's a lot of shit that people aren't really prepared to really deal with or really unweed. They just know that it seems dangerous. It seems holy shit, there's people on TikTok dancing. That seems dangerous. And that's exactly what the fuck they think. Because they think that somehow by them accessing the user data of the average American TikToker, that they gain some sort of insight, some sort of military insight to our country. And that's, in my eyes, fucking bullshit. That's preposterous. That's ridiculous. Because, just because I do dance videos, that just tells you, the only thing that tells you about me is that I do dance videos. And a lot of the other shit, it just says that I went to this website, and I don't give a shit what website. I make beats, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I look at porn or whatever, but I don't I'm not building bombs and none of that shit. That ain't me. People who know me fucking know me, and they know I'm just I'm a dude who has a podcast that is married, that is occasionally perverted, and that's really what people fucking know about me. You know what I'm saying? In which I don't care. I do a podcast about my own personal mental health. I don't care. I'm an open book. So whatever data you're going to get from Facebook, all you really need to do is inbox me. I'll give you way more data than them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to like my medical history and shit like that, I'm not afraid to tell motherfuckers all the time. I'm healthy. I go to the fucking doctor. I'm in a process right now of requesting all my medical records now for my own personal, just so I know that I'm healthy. And I can reiterate to anybody else who may want that information, if I'm healthy, I'm ready to give that out. Yes, motherfucker, I'm healthy. You know what I'm saying? You want to know where I've been? Fuck yeah, I was around the fucking corner. I don't care. Oh, big brother in the sky is watching you. I don't give a fuck. I don't. And the reason why I don't give a fuck is because I don't really have shit like that to hide. I ain't really some shady motherfucker. Oh, you can't look at my life. Fuck that. That shit is dumb. That shit to me, I'm sorry. Maybe I don't want to call it dumb because some people are genuinely like that, and I don't want to call anybody dumb. That's not my style. So, if that's your bag of chips, then cool. That's your bag of chips. But for me, I'm an open book, man. I really am. I'll tell you anything about me that you want to know. And the reason why is because I don't need people making up shit about me. I don't need nobody making up any kind of shit about me. So any kind of data that you need, you can get it from me. So I'm going to take another break, and when I come back, just like I did Facebook's problems and I did all their data issues, I'm going to do TikTok's. So we're going to put them on the side-by-side comparison, which is really not fair because Facebook's been out a hell of a lot longer than TikTok. But there are some things on TikTok that are wow, you might want to take some notice too. So I'll be right back. I'm Darren Harris. This is my podcast.
Now, back to the Darren Harris Podcast.
Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back to my show. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm talking about TikTok and the ban and how it's affecting everybody. Okay, so in the last segment, I went through all of the timeline of all of Facebook's violations, their data violations, and things that they did on purpose, and things that they had no control over, like hackers and things of that nature. But now I'm gonna go through TikTok. So now, keep this in mind. There are a lot for Facebook, but keep this in mind. Facebook has been in operation a hell of a lot longer than TikTok. Okay, so you have to kind of weigh that out. But also, there are some things here that could be, that could be questionable as far as national security is concerned. And I'm just saying from my standpoint. And if you want to check any of these facts, once again, you can go to this website that I went to called the Firewall Times. That's where I got my sources. This is where this information is coming from. That I want you guys to hear. So so back in February 2019. Okay, February 2019, TikTok got fined $5.7 million for violation of child privacy laws. So basically what they were doing is they were collecting information on children illegally. Oh, yeah, that's what they was doing. Okay, August 2020, a class action lawsuit filed over allegations of improper data collection on 89 million users. August 2020, 235 million social media profiles exposed in data leak. June 2022, Chinese TikTok employees found to be accessing American user data contrary to public statements. So I guess they said they wasn't doing it, but they was doing it anyway. So September 2022, alleged TikTok breach appears to be false alarm. December 2022, TikTok admits to spying on reporters. And April 2023, British regulators fined TikTok €12 million for collecting personal data on children without their parents' consent. So that's so far what TikTok has been guilty of. They're not squeaky clean either. And none of them are. No social media platform is guilty. If you think that you're on social media and your data is 100% protected, you're in for a reality check, because we put our whole lives out here every day. Everybody, the people on every social media platform that I have. If you have social media, you put your life out here every single day for people to see. And along with that, you put a lot of your personal data too. Anything that you sign up for, all that information is out there. All that stuff is out there. Anything that you sign up for online, like I have a few services. I have a few services that require my credit card information, as a lot of us do. And a lot of these things come through, we saw this little cool thing on social media, and we went to this little website through our social media account, and then we bought said thing from our social media account. All that information is in your social media account. So be careful. If there's stuff like me, I'm this guy. If you get my bank information, oh my God, you got my bank information. I have $38 in my bank account. You want access to my credit? Oh my God, my credit. You've got my credit. Good luck getting something with it. And if you do, let me know. I'd really like to know that. If you did, because wow, I can't. So yeah, folks, but for real talk on the real, be careful. Be careful online. Be careful online. And I was chatting with somebody online. I was live, and she said it's not safe here, and don't show your kids online. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't show their kids. I might take a picture but that's me with my, she's exactly right. It's not safe. The web is not a nice place. The internet is not a nice place. Oh, but we go to Facebook to share memories and thoughts and good experiences, and other people go there to take your shit. Okay? So you have to be careful when you're doing this. And like I said before, man, we got to stop being hypocrites. We got to stop being social media hypocrites. If it's going to be like that, then it needs to be like that for all of the platforms. If you're going to shit on TikTok for snatching data, then you need to shit on Facebook for snatching data, and Instagram for snatching data, and so on and so forth. But then on the other side of that, we all need to do our due diligence and sit down for 15, 20 minutes and read the end user license agreement on every damn thing you sign. You know what I'm saying? Everything. Read the end user license agreement. And if you don't want to read that shit, don't download that shit. Especially if you think, especially when you think something might be like suspect. Read that shit. And I've recently gotten into that habit of just sitting down for a couple minutes and just read through the shit. You know what I mean? Just read through it. And most of the time, there's nothing harmful. Most of the time, they're just letting you know. And most of the time, they'll listen, we might do this, so on and so forth with your data. All right, cool. But they tell you what it's for, to personalize your experience. Really, it's just so they can make some fucking money. They just want to sell your data to somebody else so somebody can send you a fucking email or a text message to buy their shit. And that's really what it's for. They can kind of try to figure, some shit out about you. Oh, this guy likes Jeeps, so we're gonna flood his inbox, his timeline with pictures of Jeeps and shit like that. I don't give a fuck about that. People are like, oh man, turn off your fucking microphone. They're listening to you. Oh yeah, where's my fucking $1 million? Where's my money? I hope somebody's listening. Where is the money? You know what I'm saying? So if you're listening, fucking listen. Listen. Okay? Listen for everything. Don't just listen to the shit you want to listen to. Listen for me telling you I need some fucking money in my life. Just like everybody else, we need some fucking relief. We need some honesty. We need better politics. We need a lot of shit in this country. If you're listening, if you're truly fucking listening, social media, the internet, Google, and all these motherfuckers that are guilty of snatching our data and selling it to anybody, the highest bidder, anybody. If you're listening, how about giving the people some fucking relief? You know what I'm saying? How about helping us find some common ground for real? How about that? Instead of just being, concerned about what kind of information, what kind of war, because it all goes back to defense. It all goes back to the dance challenges and all that shit. It all goes back to, oh my God, they're gonna know shit about us. Okay. Because that's what the fuck we up here for, right? It's for people to know shit about us. That's what we put this shit up here for, right? That's why that's why I got a Facebook, to put up the little pictures that I went to. I went to dinner with my wife, and we took pictures of our food, and we came. That's fucking data. That's shit that I did in my life. That's shit that just me and my wife did that I put on the internet for the fucking world to see. But no, we want to keep this part private. That's what we need, is some fucking privacy net. That's what we need, is privacy net. But we do have things that you can block your fucking IP, and you can just search around like a fucking internet stalker. We also have things that block people from harming our things, which we need. We need that stuff. We need all that kind of stuff. But there are things out there that are deliberately out here to harm us. But we just have to keep in our minds that there are things out here that are deliberately out here trying to harm us. And what kind of information do I want these people to have? Don't be so willy-nilly with your information if you're concerned about your information. If you are concerned about the impact that somebody snatching your information is going to have on your life, then be more leery about what you sign up for online. Be more leery about what you give access to, the things about you. Like I said, for me, I'm an open book. I'll tell most people anything about me. I mean, I don't give a shit. I really don't. I'm just a regular person. I'm a regular guy. Whatever it is, but I don't have anything to hide from anybody. If I lied, I'll tell you that I lied. If I stole, I'll tell you that I stole. If I cheated, I'll tell you that I cheated. I don't have anything to hide. And the reason why is because human life is about learning things, and everybody makes mistakes, and everybody should learn from your fucking mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So in order to acknowledge that you've done something wrong is to grow in your life. So I don't mind telling people about things that have happened to me or things that I've done that I'm not necessarily. I don't mind. You can ask me pretty much anything. You know what I'm saying? But for those people who want some secretive, they want more, more secretive about their lives, then I caution you. Take a couple of minutes. Sit down and determine whether or not, do I want to fill out this piece of paper, or do I want to sign up for this thing? Think about that, because keep in mind that most companies and most things that you sign up for now are selling your data. All right? They're selling your data. They're selling everything about you in order for other companies and things, affiliates to know things about you, so that they can tailor a custom experience. And that's really what it's about. But it's not. It's just about knowing who's here and knowing what you're up to and knowing what you're doing. And that's really what it is. And if you're like me, like I said, then you don't care who knows what the fuck I'm doing. I don't care. And this is what the fuck I do. And if any politician or anybody wants to stand in my face, I'll tell your motherfucking ass in your face too. The president and everybody. Anybody. I'll tell you in your fucking face about yourself, as I expect that people should tell me about myself. You know what I'm saying? So, listen, folks, I think that, do I have any other points? Let me see, go through my notes really fast. I don't think so. Look, okay. This is it. And then I'm going to leave you guys. At the end of the day, somebody said this recently. At the end of the day, you have United States and you have China. You have the two, for all intents and purposes, the two largest powers on the face of the earth. We shouldn't be fighting each other. We should be trying to figure out how to learn from each other. Try to figure out how we can advance human society for everybody on earth. We're the two biggest powers on earth. But instead, no, hell no, I can't look over there because they're this, or we can't look over there because they're that, and that's fucking dumb. That's dumb. Okay? It's dumb. Too many countries have too many fucking secrets. And it's starting to get on my nerves. So do us a favor, folks. Get out there and vote because the season is coming up. Vote, vote, vote. The season is coming up. I'm always going to advocate for people to vote, regardless of who you vote for or who you support or where you're at on the face of the planet or wherever you listen to my podcast. Go out and vote. Change the world. Listen, I want to thank my parents for being the best parents in the world because they are. I want to thank my wife for being the absolute best supporter I could ever have in my life. I want to thank my best friend, Jesse Yandel, for being my producer and giving me the encouragement every week that I need to do my podcast. And of course, I want to thank every single person out there who is listening to my podcast, who has listened to my podcast, who has never listened to my podcast, and then really, really all the people who have listened to my podcast and don't listen anymore. I want to thank them too. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank the people on my Instagram feed who have listened and tuned in and tuned out. I really, really want you to know that I do appreciate it. You can follow me on all my social media platforms. My name is the same on all of them. I'm easy to find. So thank you very much for joining me on this week's episode of the Darren Harris Podcast. Join me next week when I'll be talking about some other random bullshit. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Maybe I'll talk about the trial next week. I don't know. I think I might talk about the trial. What do y'all think? Do you think the trial would be good? I wanted to talk about some other shit too, but I think the trial, everybody kind of wants to hear the trial. There was a guy, man, I really kind of want to, because I'm from New York. So I want to talk about that next. I might. I'm not giving any promises. I'm not promising anybody nothing, but I might talk about this trial next week because I'm from New York and I want to know, and I'm very anxious to know the climate of the New Yorkers there, so I might try to get in touch with some of my friends. And also, there was a guy who lit himself on fire out in front. I want to talk about that shit. So join me next week, man. I'll be sitting here doing the same shit, talking about my podcast, talking about my life, and I hope everybody's next week is great mentally. I hope you really do, and I'm serious about this. I'm going to break this down for a second. I'm really serious. I want everybody to take a few minutes to realize and understand that your mental health is important. Okay? Your job is important, but more important than your fucking job is your mental health. And I'm dead ass serious. Things in your life are important. Bills are important, but you know what else is important? Your mental health is really important. Take it from a person who takes medication. Okay? Take it from a person who understands that mental health is just as important as breaking your arm or having some sort of other ailment. It's really serious, and it's here in America, it's growing. It's growing, and it's all across the country. It's getting to be out of control, and it's getting to be where people don't really care, and it's sad. So, like I said, make sure you take care of your mental health. All right, make sure you take care of yourself, because take care of yourself first. Because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't go to work. So your boss is asked the fuck out anyway, right? You're gonna have to replace you anyway if you ain't here, right? If you can't cope mentally, you're just gonna have to be taken the fuck out, right? So make sure you take care of yourself mentally, all right? Thanks again, folks, for joining me. Join me next week where I'll be talking about, like I said, some other random bullshit. I'm Darren Harris. This is my podcast.
You've been listening
Peace.
to the Darren Harris Podcast. Subscribe to the show, give a good rating, and everything you need to know is at DarrenHarris.com.